once you can make space inside yourself and shift these unnecessary blocks, it's going to be so easy to grow towards six figures. Like really, like when I look back and that year where I grew from 2K months to my first six-figure year, it was effortless. It was effortless. Welcome to the Seeing in the Dark podcast, the podcast for the women of the ancient futures, women that see beyond eyes and know beyond mind and are here to make a change from a deep communion with the mystery of life. Seeing in the Dark is about walking paths that have not been walked before and daring to show up for the mission and dream life that is knocking on your door. My name is Nicole Nima Costeres, mystic, medium, initiated priestess, and here to take you into the mysteries of purpose, power, ritual, and intuition. May you embody your own unique essence so deeply that your vibration naturally teaches, inspires, and assists others. Let's dive in. This week's episode is especially for the woman who wants to grow her business to six and multiple six figures and beyond. This is an episode in which I share with you the 6 unnecessary blockages on your way to 100K. And it's 6 blockages that I've been struggling with a lot on my journey to my first six-figure year. I already shared this episode before, and the reason why I'm sharing it again is because I feel I see many women struggle with these 6 blockages when it comes to their business journey. And since we launched it a long time ago, and also since I have 2 spots open for my one-on-one mentorship journey of 3 months, I wanted to share with you about these 6 blockages. If afterwards you feel like I want to move through these things, I'm ready to scale my business, and I actually have a longing to do so because not everybody does, right? Not everybody wants to grow their income in this way, and that's totally fine. But if you feel you do want to do that, and if you feel you're ready to make that step, then working one-on-one with me might be a really nice way to do so. I'll share a bit more about that later, but for now, I wish you an amazing time with the 6 unnecessary blockages on your way to 100K. Welcome everyone to this new episode of Seeing in the Dark. I am really excited to dive into 6 unnecessary blocks on your way to 100K. And the reason why I'm creating this episode is because all these 6 unnecessary blocks, I was carrying them up until 2.5 years ago. And I was at that point already for like 3 or 4 years, almost a bit like stuck and making 1.5 to 2,000 euro a month. And I was really happy at one end. Like at one hand, I was like traveling the world, doing everything I wanted to do, having actually also enough money to do everything I wanted to do. Yet I felt something deeper started to knock on my door, and I felt there was a deeper potential available when it was in connection to the amount of money I was making at that point. So these 6 unnecessary blocks, my intention is that they can help you to become more clear if you feel the longing to expand into making more money. And the reason why I say if is because not everybody wants to, and that's okay. So I'm not sharing this because I think it's better to make more money. No. Simply, if you have that longing and you feel there is a deeper potential knocking on your door in your income, then let these 6 unnecessary blocks be at least explored within yourself. So the first one, taxes. The fear of needing to pay lots of taxes. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your business, the more money you're going to make, especially up until that first 100,000, the more you're going to make, the more taxes you're going to pay. At least that's in the Netherlands. And I think in a lot of countries, it's like this. So I remember even in the first few years when I started my business about 10 years ago as a masseuse and body worker, that there was this certain amount here in the Netherlands that if you would stay underneath that amount, I don't remember what it was. I think it's like 20,000 euro a year. If you would stay underneath that, you don't have to pay taxes or like super, super low amount. So a part of me wanted to grow my business, yet another part of me wanted to stay under that amount because I didn't want to like lose my money and pay it to a government that I didn't even agree with how they were doing their business, right? So if you have that place inside yourself where you feel like, why should I want to pay that amount of taxes? Like, I'm working hard for my money. I deserve to have that money to myself. Why would I pay it to this corrupt government that I'm not even agreeing with how they spend it? What really helps me in that is to start to acknowledge that my mission, and the same for your mission, like the importance of our mission outweighs the heaviness of things we don't agree with in the government, right? So if we would all keep ourselves small, then how change is ever going to happen in the world? So it's about fully acknowledging the importance of your purpose, of your message, of your mission for this world, and being okay that taxes in this current money system, in this current setup of our society, is part of that. So I also know friends that are like kind of out of the system and they're floating their way around this. For me, that never resonated because I feel that it was giving a certain restlessness. So I could still not do my business from a relaxed place. So I decided I want to do this completely legal, completely transparent. That was the most relaxed way for me. But it asked for me to then be okay with paying huge amounts of money to taxes. And so that led up to me last year transferring the highest amount of money that I ever transferred in my life and feeling relaxed with it, feeling totally relaxed with it. Because I know that Women of Ancient Futures is growing and reaching more women and supporting through that more women to become empowered and financially empowered, heart-centered and soul-based leaders. And because of that, more of the money in the world will flow to heart-centered and soul-based people. And through that, I believe that change can actually occur into the world, into our money system, into how we currently structure our societies. So see what you can change in your perspective about taxes so that you can become more relaxed with paying taxes, so that it doesn't need to be this unnecessary block for you to expand in your mission, in your business, and in your income. That's one. The second one that was holding me back was I was having a feeling that if I would grow my business to a six-figure business and beyond, the amount of work and the fear of burnout were holding me back. So the amount of work was because when we're entrepreneurs, we're doing everything, right? We are our own copywriters, our own graphic designers, our own photographers, our own web builders, our own content creators, our own organizers. Like basically we're having at least 10 roles inside our own business. And so usually we have our hands full already with that. And then to imagine that you're going to expand to a six-figure business that is going to have even more work, like that leads to burnout and overwork. And so that was a blockage that was holding me back that I see holds many women back that I work with. And what I want to say to that is I have actually been walking on that edge of burnout several times in the last few years. And I think it's beautiful to approach that with softness and kindness and with an opportunity to grow. So for me, the biggest reason why I was walking on that edge of burnout was, yes, partly the amount of work and needing to learn how to work with a team, how to delegate, how to expand beyond only me being in Women of Ancient Futures. But also an even bigger part was me working too much from needing to do it really, really well and leaning into perfectionism and like walking on my toes in that sense. And so I had to face some emotional patterns within myself in order to tackle those patterns in me that were going into overwork and burnout, right? Because I would take things way too personal. I wanted things to be way too perfect. And I needed to learn to relax that actually, if I work from a relaxed place, it is good enough. Like I can work 100% in. I don't need to be 200% in all the time, right? So I feel that when our business grows and when maybe we touch those edges of overwork or burnout, that there are amazing opportunities for growth. So instead of letting yourself be held back by them, to lean into that edge of growth, and it might not even happen for you. Like, I have colleagues that never touched that edge of overwork and burnout. And the ones that did, they all had amazing growth opportunities from them. So it's actually a beautiful opportunity for you to get to know yourself better and for you to see where are you maybe still working from a place of perfectionism. Because when you grow towards 100,000 and beyond, when you grow towards that six figures and multiple six-figure business, you need to learn to let go in so many ways, Like, I feel like the two things I needed to learn the most towards 100,000 and beyond was letting go and deepening my ability to receive and be held and be supported, right? And that's also the third unnecessary block is like the fear of like, oh, I need to hire a team and then I need to manage the team and it's going to be so much work and I don't know how to do that. And yeah, that's the third one that I've been feeling a lot of resistance towards. And that actually was part of me walking on that edge of burnout. I waited way too long with hiring my team. I waited way too long with letting myself be supported because for me, it was so scary to have that responsibility of needing to pay someone every month, right? So I preferred to keep myself smaller so that I didn't have to face that fear because that was all it was. Because what I found out is the moment that I was actually hiring someone in my team, yes, of course, in the beginning, you need to work them into their position. You need to like give feedback. So in the beginning, maybe it is a bit more work, but then you actually have so much more space to breathe, so much more space to be in your zone of genius. Because let's be honest, like those 10 roles that you're doing, you are not good in all 10 of them. Like maybe you enjoy graphic design and you're good at it, but then maybe you suck at administration, right? Like you are definitely not in your zone of genius with all the tasks that you are doing in your business. And when you start to grow your business, you start to have the funds to hire a team. Actually, it will give you more space to be in your genius, to be truly in the things that you are really good at. So if it's something that is holding you back, know that it's a gateway into more spaciousness in your gifts and really taking that position in the things that you love doing the most and that you're actually good at. Now, also when it comes to team, I think all of us should just hire people way earlier, like way earlier. Looking back, even in my 2K months, I should have had more team. And I think there is so many ways in which we can have team, right? We don't have to immediately, especially when you're at 2K months, you don't have to hire someone full time for like €35 an hour. No, you can start smaller. Maybe there is someone that loves your work and you can start on the basis of exchange, right? Maybe there is someone that is willing to grow with you. That's what I did with my team members. In the beginning, I said, hey, listen, I don't have the funds to pay you like 30, 35, €40 an hour. No, I would like to start smaller with you. And then as I grow, you will grow with me, right? So there's so many ways in which we can start to feel more relaxed with team and ways in which we can ease ourselves into it. Like I hear myself say this a lot in my masterminds, in my mentorships, to ease ourselves into these things, ease ourselves into these ways of growing our business. Amazing. Now, also team in the end will actually prevent overwork and burnout, right? Because like when you have the right team in place, and one of my coaches said, if you have to touch it, it's not the right team member or your team member is not in the right place. Meaning if you cannot fully let go of these tasks that they are doing, something needs to change in your team. So at this point, I'm so happy with my team because I have 2 team members and they are both in their zone of genius. They're both like doing amazing work. And I sometimes even forget to check my inbox because my team member is on it, you know? I can lean back so much into it and have so much more space for myself, so much more freedom. And that I feel is really the power of team. I feel actually I don't know if this is true. Let me know if this is not true, but I believe it's not even possible to grow to 6 figures and beyond 6 figures without a team. And I would love to meet someone that did. And I would love to know how they are feeling, because I can imagine it's really, really intense. Yes. So that's the third one. The shift of resistance towards team to actually seeing the freedom and the liberation and the space for your genius that comes with having an assistant or a team. Just a quick break from this week's episode to let you know that I have 2 spots available in my one-on-one leadership and business mentorship. This is my private mentorship in which I only work with 4 women at a time to make sure you have all my love, all my care, and all my attention. In these 3 months, we can work together on different things and help you to scale to your first 6-figure year. Or maybe you are at 6 figures already and you're ready to scale to multiple 6 figures and beyond. Some of the women that I've been working with in the last few years were women that feel they want to scale their business, but they're not sure how to do it. And I help them to see the things they don't see, to point them at their dead angles, to point them at the opportunities and the gold that they're sitting on, and help them to structure and build that into a business that works for them. Some of the women that come into my one-on-one have a successful offline business, but now they want to bring their business more online to make it more location independent, but also to make it more easeful so that not every offer that you're having requires your presence. So we're automizing parts of your business. I can mentor you on how to start working with advertisements. I support women in my one-on-one how to build your team. It can be a team with 1 person. It can be a team with multiple people. Women of Ancient Futures at the moment has a team of 5 people. So over the last 2.5 years, I learned to work together with a team and do so with really simple yet very functional tools that help the team to work together. So building the team is one of them. Also, the changes that you go through when you shift from being a solopreneur to becoming the CEO of your company has been such a journey for me. And I love mentoring women into that shift. So what happens when you are no longer the only pillar in your business, but suddenly the mission starts to become bigger and starts to grow? Like, how can you stay aligned with your business and the soul of your business in that journey? Taxes, like we talk about how to manage your money, how to do it in a way that you can breathe and feel relaxed in your business and not let that become something really, really stressful. Also, we focus on powerful and clear messaging, audience growth, how to manage your team, manage your business in a way that helps you and allows you to stay in the zone of your genius. Because let's be honest, a lot of the things you're doing in your business, you don't have to be doing and you don't even want to be doing. So I help you to really create that position in your business where you work in your zone of genius, meaning the things you're actually really good at and the things you love doing. In this way, you can have a work week of whatever amount of hours you like to work, and you don't have to become a victim of all the hours of work that need to be done in your business. So most of the women that come into my one-on-one, they already have that foundation of making at least a few €1,000 or dollars a month. And that will make it so much easier to scale to your first 6 figures and beyond. Sometimes women are already at 6 figures that come into my one-on-one, but they lost themselves along the way. And I help to reconnect to their essence and reconnect to the soul of their business so that we can restructure the business in a way that again feels deeply connected to who they are and what they stand for. So just some examples with a variety of clients. My last 4 clients that I had last year, 3 out of 4 hit their first 6-figure year. Actually, one of them was already there. She restructured her business, expanded her team, and she felt again deeply connected to the soul of her business. The other 2 hit their first 6-figure year. And the 4th one went through an amazing growth as well. She just had a little bit of a different starting point when we started our journey together. So if you feel a pull to working one-on-one with me, I highly recommend to fill out the form and apply for the one-on-one. And we will start with having a short check-in call together just to make sure that we are a good match and that I can support you in the things you want to be supported with in your business and leadership journey. Much love, and let's get back to the 6 unnecessary blockages on your way to 100K. All right, fourth one. This was a big one for me. This was maybe even the biggest one for me. It's about wanting to be a good person and the fear of what other people will think. Wanting to be a good person and the fear of what other people will think. And this was probably one of the biggest unnecessary blockages for me, because I was spending a lot of time in spiritual communities that would make a big separation between money, power, and leadership, and being a deeply spiritual human being. Meaning, a lot of the people in the spiritual communities that I was spending time in were making very little money and were proud of it, right? Because they were having all these judgments towards people that make a lot of money, all these assumptions about what it means to make a lot of money, and this big separation between money and being a heart-centered, soul-based person. So I needed to acknowledge that you can also be a good person when you make a lot of money, right? I needed to acknowledge that this separation between money and being a deeply spiritual human being needs to be dissolved, because it's actually keeping the spiritual communities that I was spending a lot of time with, it's keeping these spiritual communities financially disempowered. When I started to see that, when I started to feel that fire of like bridging that gap between being a deeply spiritual human being or a heart-centered or a soul-based soul, to fully embrace money, to fully dare to embrace it and see what happened in my life if I would do that. And the moment I started to bridge that gap, the moment I started to acknowledge myself that I would still be a good person when I would open myself for more money, that was the year where I reached almost 6 figures within 7 months. So where do you have any ideas around being a good person means making less money, or a fear of what other people will think when you start to make more of it, right? And that's the fourth one, and that leads into the fifth one, and that was the fear of losing freedom. I was having a fear of losing freedom because I was feeling like, oh, so much responsibilities come with like having a bigger business and making more money. Like I already named one, like the responsibility to pay the team, but also the responsibility of like, can I handle all this money? Can I handle all this money in a responsible, conscious way? Or will I start to be manipulative like all these other leaders that I see around me, right? Like, am I starting to be greedy, or am I starting like all these worries? Because there's so many bad examples in the world out there of people that abuse their power or abuse their financial power. And so all these fears I had to face within myself to actually trust myself that I can be with these amounts of money, that I can support amazing projects that I want to support, that I can actually make a change in the world through making more money. So when I was making these 2,000 euro months, I was traveling the world, and it didn't ask so much responsibility in a way, responsibility in the sense of like what I sometimes feel now, like, can I truly make a change in the world with the amount of money that I'm making? Can I truly make a change in the world with the mission that I'm carrying out with Women of Ancient Futures? And that responsibility would sometimes have me feel less free in my business in a way. And so what I needed to acknowledge is that I can trust myself. What I needed to acknowledge is that more money and more power amplifies who you already are at your core. And that helped me to shift this one. And the same for you. You can trust that who you already are at your core will be amplified once you start to make more money. Who you already are at your core will be amplified once you allow in more power. And so what I believe when it comes to these toxic leaders in the world is that already at their core, there was manipulation in their lives, right? Already at their core, there was a disconnection from their emotions or a disconnection from their bodies, right? So me spending so much time in my life deepening the connection with my body, crystallizing the power of my intuition, making myself more and more available for that deeper intelligence of life, moving me, that will be amplified. And looking back, it has been amplifying. So if I already loved like supporting beautiful projects, that is amplified now because I can do it even more so. So you don't have to fear the responsibility that comes with making more money or wielding more power. You can trust that it amplifies who you already are right now. And that's beautiful. So the sixth one, the final one, is realizing that money is innocence. Money is innocence. It's a big one for me because we have so many bad examples when it comes to money that it's very easy to start to have negative beliefs around money in and of itself, right? When actually money in and of itself is innocent. Money in and of itself doesn't carry any charge or load that makes it toxic or manipulative in its essence. No, it's the people that are moving the money that are doing beautiful things or ugly things with it, right? So it's the recognition that money in and of itself is neutral in a way. Money in and of itself is innocent. And it's only when money comes into contact with the person who is moving it that it determines whether it's going to be something empowering and constructive for this world or whether it's going to become disempowering and destructive for this world. And so seeing that really helped me to dare to embrace more of money. Like imagine if money is a partner or a friend, right? And I have this belief that this friend is really toxic. Then this friend doesn't want to get close to me, right? But if I can recognize like the innocence of this friend, the innocence of this partner, then it's so much more likely that this partner also wants to spend time with me and come closer to me. So having a look at your relationship with money and where you're still projecting toxicity or manipulation onto money in and of itself, and to recognize that money in and of itself is innocence. Amazing. So these were the 6 unnecessary blocks: taxes, amount of work, wanting to be a good person, a resistance to having a team, the fear of losing freedom because of the responsibilities, and realizing that money is innocence. And once you can make space inside yourself and shift these unnecessary blocks, it's going to be so easy to grow towards 6 figures. Like really, like when I look back and that year where I grew from 2K months to my first 6-figure year, it was effortless. It was effortless. And so this is also what I support women with in my one-on-ones. I have actually 3 spots available for my 2-month one-on-one container. So it's 2 months with me, 5 sessions, and unlimited chat support in between the sessions, plus access to one of my courses or trainings. And these 2 months are all about this. It's about making space inside of yourself to welcome those 6 figures and multiple 6 figures in your business. And also to create that really simple business model that can support you, plus creating and launching one powerful offer that helps you scale towards those 6 figures. So if you feel the pull towards that, please reach out to me, because if you feel you want this, if you feel your soul called into this, especially if you have been flatlining at 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 euro months for a while, it is so easy. It can be so easy to scale towards those 6 figures. So yeah, if you feel the pull, you can reach out to me in my private messages or email, and let's explore if and how I can support you. And also let me know in my DMs which one of those 6 unnecessary blockages you see inside yourself and you are now ready to change, because I would love to know. I would love to connect with you and hear from you. I wish you a most beautiful day and see you next week. Much love. Did you receive any inspiration, motivation, or powerful breakthroughs by listening to this episode? Then please share this episode by taking a screenshot and tagging me in your stories at nicole.nima.costeres. I would love to celebrate you, share you in my stories, and it would mean so much to have my work reach more powerful, passionate women like you. Thank you so much, and looking forward to see you next week.